operating a trail camera should be a fun experience, but too many times that enjoyment is replaced by frustrations, especially if the trail camera is not operating properly. Today I'll discuss 3 common mistakes that we often make that lower the enjoyment level and increase the frustrations, and nobody wants that. So let's get started. No matter what brand or model or type of trail camera you're using, one common mistake that I see many people make, and I've made it myself before in the past, is using cheap batteries in that trail camera. So often I see people walking into their favorite dollar store looking for the absolute cheapest AA battery they can find, put it into their trail camera, and wonder why their trail camera isn't operating properly. Trail cameras, like many electronic devices, require certain voltage to operate properly. With trail cameras, this usually rears its ugly head at nighttime, especially if you're operating on video mode. And if you're operating your trail camera on low quality alkaline batteries, this is a recipe for disaster. Maybe you've experienced this yourself. You're operating your trail camera on video mode at nighttime. You have your trail camera set up to take a 20-second video. Something walks in front of your trail camera. It begins taking a video, and within 2, maybe 3 seconds, the video quits. This happens time and time again, but during the day, you get that full-length 20-second video. Well, that is a sure indication that you have low voltage in your batteries. I don't care if you just put those batteries in yesterday or last week or 2 months ago. When your nighttime videos are shorter than what you set up in the settings, I can virtually guarantee it's a voltage problem from your batteries. To avoid this, I highly recommend using lithium batteries in your trail cameras. Now, lithium batteries come at a cost, especially in that initial purchase price, but in my opinion, the lithium battery is worth every penny, not only because it'll outlast the alkaline batteries, but it'll also outperform an alkaline battery. Throw in the fact that the lithiums will also outperform the alkalines in colder temperatures, and you'll see the reason why I recommend using a lithium battery to operate your trail camera. Now, lithium AA batteries is a growing segment of the battery market, and it seems every other week there's a new brand coming out. I've tried many different brands of lithium AA batteries. In fact, recently I've been trying out new Philips lithium batteries. Yes, the Philips that makes the home electronics or the electronic healthcare products, they now make a lithium AA battery. In fact, you can get a Philips lithium battery at batterydealers.com, and if you go there, you can use the discount code HuntingFarmer. That'll save you 5% off of anything on the entire site. They not only have the Philips lithium battery, but they also have the industry standard, the Energizer lithium battery. So check out batterydealer.com. Don't forget to use the discount code HuntingFarmer. Another common mistake to avoid when operating a trail camera is using the wrong SD card. Now, virtually every trail camera out there requires the use of an SD card, but by choosing the wrong SD card, this could cause all types of issues while you're operating your trail camera. Now, there are tons of different manufacturers of SD cards, much like the lithium batteries I was just discussing. Not only do you have to pay attention to a good quality brand SD card, but you should also be paying attention to the size of the SD card and the write speed. A common mistake I see over and over again is somebody using too large of an SD card in their trail camera. For years, many trail cameras had a maximum size of 32 gig SD card. Now, more recently, many manufacturers have upped that and allow you to use a larger SD card, but you still must check what is the maximum amount of gigabytes that SD card can be and still operating your trail camera. When your file storage is larger than your camera's manufacturer's recommendations, this will cause issues. Have you ever placed your trail camera out into the woods, left it go for a week, maybe a month, came back and there's all types of sign in front of your trail camera, there's prints in the ground, you know that the animals were in front of your trail camera, yet there's not a single photo or video on the trail camera's SD card? This may be an SD card issue. So again, use a quality SD card with a good write speed and the proper size for your trail camera. Now, I have personally used many different brands over the years, but I've had very good success with the SanDisk Ultra. They work in many different makes and models of trail cameras, which is important to me because I have so many different brands that I use. You might also be surprised that I limit my SD cards to 32 gigs. Now this may seem small to you, but again, I'll refer back to that maximum SD card size that manufacturers recommend. I like to keep a size that I can use in all of my trail cameras, and I personally choose that 32 gig SanDisk Ultra to operate in virtually all of my trail cameras. The third mistake to avoid when operating trail cameras is the mistake of being in a hurry. I don't know why, but it seems when many people are hanging their trail camera, it's like they're in a race and they want to get it slapped to the tree, get it hung and turned on and out of there as quick as possible. Now, I understand leaving your scent in the area can be problematic when it comes to wildlife, but rest assured, if you were there for even 1 second, your scent's already there. So take your time and set up your trail camera properly. By being in a hurry when you're hanging your trail camera, not only will you make careless mistakes, but there's also several things that you should take your time and to check diligently before leaving that trail camera. You might be leaving that trail camera for a week or a month or even a year like I do sometimes. You want to check and double check to make sure everything is set up properly. Not only do you want to check the correct mounting angle, but the mounting height can also be important. So take your time and make sure you have that trail camera set up properly. Another thing that I personally do to every single one of my trail cameras is to record a video before I leave the trail camera. Virtually every trail camera out there allows you to take a picture or record a video manually. This does not use the PIR sensor and you don't have to walk in front of the trail camera. You can simply go into the settings or onto the menu buttons and manually force that trail camera to take a photo or a video. By doing this, this can also test your SD card because if you manually take a photo or a video, it should indicate on the SD card that there has been a photo or a video taken. Again, by doing this and taking the extra second to manually take that photo or video, you can not only ensure that the camera is operating properly, it'll also ensure that the SD card is compatible and that the files are being stored on that SD card. Another tip I recommend when setting up your trail camera and taking your time to make sure you do things right is to carry a voltage meter to actually check each AA battery in that trail camera. Now, I understand if you only have one trail camera and you're checking it every week, this might not be a big deal, but if you're operating multiple trail cameras or many trail cameras like I am, a cheap voltage meter is worth its weight in gold. I actually check the voltage on every single battery, and in fact, one of the cheapest voltage meters available online also has a resistance test for AA batteries. This resistance test is important because sometimes the voltage will show good on a battery, but you put some resistance on it and it'll drop through the floor. Again, a cheap voltage meter from Harbor Freight or even many that are sold online has this resistance mode built right into the unit. Simply put it on the correct setting and you can get a milliamp reading with resistance on a AA battery. Now keep in mind the reading you're going to get is going to be different between lithiums and alkaline batteries on that resistance reading. The last tip, while you're taking your time and before you walk away from that trail camera, double check to make sure you have it turned on. Many cameras have a three-way off, setup, on switch, and you can easily put it on the setup mode and forget about it and walk away while never turning the camera to on. This is going to lead to some severe disappointment when you come back to check that trail camera. So take your time, set up the trail camera properly, use good batteries, a quality SD card, and make sure you turn it on before you walk away. So those were my tips, but now I'd love to hear from you. Do you have any advice, maybe a mistake you've made in the past that you'd be willing to share down in the comments section? I'm still learning, and many times I learn from the comments down in the comments section, so thank you. I also want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.